What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Jarrell. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys this gun pack trips mini scheme for next gen in Madden 23. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So if you are on current gen, I already have a video on this pack trip, so I wanted to do one for next gen. Also, I do have an ebook on this if you're on current gen. Now, I do not have one created for next gen, so if you want one for next gen, make sure you visit my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description, and you want to go ahead and request me to do this formation if you're interested in next gen. Now, current gen, I already have an ebook on gun pack trips. Go check it out. I promise you'll love it. So, without further ado, let's go on and dive into this. So the reason why I like pack trips, because you have 4 receivers automatically out there. So just keep that in mind that you don't have a tight end in. Now, normally that's good because that means you're going to have some great matchups that you can exploit. So why I like pack trips, right? And of course, we're in the Packers playbook. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but we're in the Packers offensive playbook. Now, the reason I like pack trips because you have inside zone and you have halfback base, which are two very powerful run plays. The only thing I wish they had was read option, and it would make this offense just unbelievably good if they had read option. But the play we're going to talk about in today's video is halfback angle, but there's so many other great plays in here. For example, curls is a great play, stick and nod's a great play, slot out is a really good play, and also Packer seams. You actually can, of course, split the seams with some setups. Packer drive is really good, Packer scat is really good, and of course PA wide receivers in. PA wide receiver in is good, and of course your standard 4 verticals is really good. And also they do have the draw. I forgot to mention that. But anyways, we're going to be taking a look at halfback angle, but there's just a lot of great plays inside of this formation that I wanted to do a next gen scheme for it. So we're going to base everything out of halfback angle. So there's going to be about 3 setups I give you, about 3. So just so you keep that in mind. Now, you guys know I love to show you defense that you'll see when you actually load up and use this offense. And you're going to see a lot of $326, well, 3.2 now for this year. But what I basically did was I just took out all the, the really good defensive linemen, because this is all Madden practice mode. So I put in garbage defensive line so I can have a little time in the pocket. But we have speed all the way around. We have safeties in at the linebacker position, so you can get a good idea of what you'll expect. All right, so we're going to take a look at standard coverages. So what that means is your cover 3, cover 2, man coverage, and cover 4 drop. Okay, so let's go in and come out and cover 4 drop. Now, when you run this offense, it depends on what play you're coming out in, but for the most part, you want your 3 receivers to be on the wide side of the field, right? So there's 2 setups that I love versus cover 3 and cover 4 drop style defenses, anything where they have hook zones out there. So what you want to do is, for the first setup, I like to take X, put them on a drag. I like to take R1, put them on a hitch. Take circle, put them on an out route, and then smart route. Now, don't mind that he is on a smart route. Out route is just practice mode things for next gen. Don't ask me why it's like that. Now, you can either do a out route or you can do a comeback route, whichever one you want. So I'll just do a comeback route. No, I'll keep the out route and smart route it. So anyways, we're gonna take a look at it. So what you're gonna have is X, triangle, and then also sometimes you can have circle. So I didn't throw it for a reason, because I wanted to go through, show you the progression reads with this setup, and then I'll start hitting some of the reads that you see me talk about. So first and foremost, you want to identify where the user is. So is he on this side or is he on this side? Now, I love this play because if he is on this side right here, so if this is your user, a lot of times they're actually going to take this running back route, and what you're going to do is you'll be able to throw this drag route right about now. And this play is really good once your opponent starts to try to zone drop to actually stop what you're doing as far as purples goes. Because with this offense, please keep in mind, you're not just going to use this one play all game, not this 1 or 2 setups that I give you. You're going to put the whole scheme together, but the whole scheme revolves around flooding the outside, which means that if they keep their standard purple here, we're going to feast all day. If the purples are going to come down on drag routes, we're going to start running that play curls, where they have a deep post coming across the middle over here. So we're just going to give the user a bunch of headaches to have to guard. So most of the time, I love this setup when they already start trying to zone drop and they aren't accounting for the flats, because you'll throw this drag route, you'll get about 7-8 yards every time off this drag. Even if they don't zone drop, you can throw this drag, and I'll show you in a second, and you can skate around, hopefully make that guy miss. If not, you can gain about 4 yards, which is really good in Madden terms if you're gaining 4 yards of play. Now, I love this because a lot of times when they start zone dropping, this guy will also skate out here, which would keep this open. But the reason I like this is because what it's going to do is actually going to, a lot of times it's going to pull this guy down. You'll be able to throw it over the top. But I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. So X on the drag, R1 on the hitch, circle on the out route, smart route is out route. So we're gonna go ahead and snap the ball here. So like I said, I want to show you this drag first. I mean, it's not like it's something special, but versus standard purples, they do a great job of guarding the drag. So just be very wary of that. Now, one thing I do want to mention is where that safety is. So if that safety, also this is cover 4 drop, huh? That's why. I'm supposed to be in cover 3. My bad, y'all. That's why it was a little wonky, because I love this setup specifically for cover 3, but it works for cover 4 drop, if that makes sense. And I'll go ahead and show you that in a second. So let's redo this. Halfback angle. I thought I was in cover 3, but I was in cover 4 drop. Okay. So cover 3, you actually can split the safety. So either the safety is going to be on the 3 receiver side, or the safety is going to be in the middle, so right here. So you need to identify where the safety is. Most of the time your opponent is going to put their safety on the 3 receiver side, because they don't want to give up a 1-play touchdown if they have their safety in the middle of the field. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and set this up. X on the drag, R1 on the zig, X on the drag, R1 on the hitch, circle on the out route, smart route is out route. I want to show you the square route real quick. I just want to show you that you can throw this ball. You just want to throw it as soon as he comes out the break, and you're gonna want to possession catch this ball. Okay, now I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna throw it to him again so you can see it. Now you only need to do this whenever he's on the short side of the field. You'll have this almost every time. Now whoever your best catcher is needs to go right here, okay, because we're banking on the fact of square being able to come down with this ball, and it's a possession catch every time, which means you're gonna press X every single time. As soon as he comes out his break, you want to throw that ball, possession catch it. Now that is only if the safety is shaded to the 3 receiver side. So notice how the safety is on the 3 receiver side. Now I don't think we could bring him over there. No, we can't. So if you see the safety, so if you see something that looks like this, which a lot of times you will see, like a defense where it's a true cover 3 shell, so kind of take a look at what I'm talking about, where the safety's in the middle, then you're not going to want to look for this read right here, and I'll show you why, and then we'll go ahead and move on, so we don't waste all of our time on this one setup. But anyways, you can see right there, so you want to put whoever your best possession catcher is, or just your whoever your best catcher is. You don't need to be the fastest, just somebody who's your best receiver normally needs to go in this spot. And I was showing you this because you can see we'll take that every single time. We could take that all day, every day versus cover 3, and also versus cover 3 too. You'll have this running back route that gets open as well. So next thing I want to show you is versus cover 2, and don't worry, I didn't forget about cover 4 drop. I just want to show you this cover 2, that it does work versus cover 2. Now versus cover 2, you actually can have a 1-play touchdown with square. You just need a little time in the pocket, and I pray I'm gonna get that. So anyways, a lot of times you'll be able to outrun him, and if I wouldn't have threw the ball so early, I could have easily split that safety for a 1-play touchdown. So versus cover 2, you really want to ignore everything in the middle here, and the reason why is because a lot of times this isn't going to be open because of the cornerback, and this isn't going to be open because of the user. Now I know it's screaming wide open, I know it looks like that, but you got to picture a user's going to be here somewhere, and a lot of times they'll be on this vertical hook, and if they're on this vertical hook, a lot of times they're still just going to have to play this guy right here. So we're just making them have to choose. We're not even worried about throwing this. Now obviously if they're a D-line user, you'll just throw this every time. Most of the time they're not going to be, okay? So what you want to do is you want to be patient. Now I threw this ball way too early, but I felt the pressure, so I wanted to go ahead and throw it. But the reason I said you can wait is because look at this safety right here. So when we put him on an out route, he's going to keep sliding. He's going to keep sliding. So what that means is this guy's going to keep running at this angle, so he will never make it. So if that makes sense. So I didn't have to throw this ball early. I mean, I'd have to throw this ball. Yeah, I have to throw the ball early. I could have waited. All right. So that's one setup that I really love. Now the second setup I like is to switch it up a little bit. We're gonna take X, we're gonna put him on a zig route. We're gonna take R1, put him on a drag, and I like to take circle, put him either on comeback route or a smart route and out route, whichever one you want. I'll put him on a comeback this time just because. Now it's the same style of read, but we're gonna look at X, R1, and then finally, I didn't mean to throw that. I literally didn't mean to throw that, but that's fine. I'm gonna go back in the replay and just show you my read progressions. I was trying to throw this drag route, but anyways, the reason why I like this is because this drag route is normally going to get open almost every time, because what the user will do, no matter what side they're on, either they're going to pass up this drag and come back and lurk this angle route, or B, they're going to lurk this zig route right here, and then they're going to climb up to look for this angle route. So a lot of times you will have this throw wide open right here. And also keep in mind, cover 3, you can throw this as well. You can throw this versus every cover 3. Just put your best receiver here. And again, I love this because it's just a different variation. It's the same style read play, but just a different variation. Now, I threw this ball by accident, but if you want to throw this, you have to wait half a second longer because he'll keep running this way. And if you throw it too early, like you see that happen. But I didn't mean to throw it to him. I was trying to throw this drag route, but you get the idea. If you throw this ball too early, then you'll pick it off. All right. So I want to show you this versus cover 4 drop. Now, please do not try to throw this post route versus cover 4 drop because you will throw a pick. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it up back up for you. Here we go. Now X is on the drag. X is on a zig route, R1's on a drag, circles on an out route, smart route. Okay, so keep in mind, look at R1, look at triangle, and what I was trying to tell you is that you could throw triangle. They're just not letting me get it, but it's probably because it's all Madden practice mode, but you get the idea. You can actually throw this ball, but you just need to throw it at the perfect timing. But I wouldn't force this ball. Keep that in mind. I'm just trying to throw it just to throw it, but you really just make the read between these two. If they're playing any style of defense, it's always going to be either this guy or this guy. Whichever the user doesn't take, you throw that, okay? Because again, they will not have answers for this. The reason why is because this offense has a lot of great plays in it, okay? So next thing I want to talk about, or probably the last thing, because this is getting a longer video, is man coverage, right? So with man coverage, my favorite setup personally is X on a zig, R1 on a slant, and I like to take circle and just put them on a comeback route. So it's the same thing, except for we're putting R1 on a slant instead of a drag. Now, if you want to run this versus zones, some zones you can, but I really love this versus man coverage. Now, the reason why I got it this way, so the reason why I don't have X on a they're not gonna let me show you, but the reason why I have it set up this way is because he is on the line of scrimmage, meaning that if they press, he can actually get pressed. Now they won't let me actually walk him into the gap, but a lot of times you'll see your users do this, you'll see your opponents just put him there, and that's just to make him press. That's a high, normally like a higher skill opponent will do that, but I like this because this guy's off the ball. So whoever your best your speediest guy is, I like to put him here because he's gonna already be off the ball, so he gets a little bit of help, if that makes sense. So anyways, this read progression is really simple. So we're gonna look at R1 triangle, and also I try to wait for square, but I'll go into replay real quick, show you why I like this setup, and then I'm pretty much gonna wrap it up because I'm trying to learn how to make my videos a lot shorter. I may give you a bonus play actually because I want you to see something. But anyways, with this particular setup, you're always gonna read between the zig route. You're gonna read the zig route first to see if you get a good animation. A lot of times you do, sometimes you don't, okay? So you wanna read zig route to slant, well actually excuse me, zig route to angle route. You're gonna see where the user is, and lastly you're gonna look for the slant, and then well, as the last read I should say, you're gonna want that post. Now whoever your fastest receiver is, I like to put here. So I mean, not fastest, but your best route runner. Whoever your best route runner is needs to go here because you want to win on this post route. So notice how we didn't really win, but he was able to have good enough route runner to run away from him because on next gen, speed just isn't king, which is why some people like it, some people don't. Speed just isn't king. So if you have a good route runner, put him on this post, okay? Now, I want to show y'all one setup, right? So you remember how we ran the first setup angle where we're pretty much going to we read the right side of the field. Now, how I love to complement this, and this is just me giving you something. So I like to complement this with the play curls, right? So for a basic setup that I love, square on a streak, I like to take R1, put him on a drag route, and then I like to sometimes I'll block my running back and I'll run it just like this, or a couple times, well not a couple times, Jesus Christ. Other things I'll do is I like to take R1, just motion them across, and then I'll just read this drag to the backside, if that makes sense. So either one is fine, but all you're gonna do is you want to just make a simple read, and you want to pass lead that ball down and outside. Now this is just a super basic setup. Now if you wanted an ebook, obviously I would just go way more into detail, but the reason why I just showed you this play is because you don't have to motion for one, and for two, we're gonna make our opponents kind of get confused here. So what I mean by this is we're gonna take this drag right here, and then we have this up top. But if you remember when we ran the halfback angle play, what did we read? We read on the right side of the field, meaning that our routes, we had an angle route, we had a drag route, we had a hitch, and we had an out route, right? So now what we're gonna do is, let's say we kept throwing the drag route, right? We kept throwing that drag, drag right here. We kept throwing the drag, kept throwing the drag. So your opponent started zone dropping, right? To play hard flats, that's when I'll come with this setup. So that's kind of how you play with this. And also, just since I have it here and I've seen it, I'm just going to show you this run play. It's just halfback based, nothing fancy, but it all works together. It's just a really good run play. As right there, of course, they're gonna get tackled in the backfield right when I try to talk about it's a good run play. But anyways, I'm just curious about see what happened. Did nobody just touch this guy? What happened? Wow, nobody even touched this dude. But this is next gen though. You know, this is next gen. Out there, these things right here, I don't have no answers for. Okay, like I can't. I mean, only thing you try doing is ID in that guy or something. But that's just EA being EA and with practice mode BS sometimes. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video though. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real and I'm out.